President Joe Biden. The remarks were, of course, on the biggest global story right now, the development and the assassination bid that was on former President and now Republican candidate Donald Trump. Remember, this has become a huge political discussion and debate point as well. 3 takeaways from what the incumbent U.S. President has said. 1, all the Secret Service's resources will be put in place to ensure that the motive behind the assassination attempt will be found out. Remember, the fact is that the one who tried to kill Donald Trump was neutralized right away by the Secret Service agents, which is usually a part of protocol. And therefore, while the identity has been confirmed, it would be very difficult to know what the motive has been. And that is what now the Secret Service job will be. However, he's also added, as President Biden has said, not to make assumptions and to trust the services who have got together and united to ensure that what has happened will in no way be repeated. Also importantly, Joe Biden has said that the fact that Donald Trump has been a former president, he's a Republican candidate, it will be taken in all seriousness. So these are some of the latest remarks that have come in. Elaborate comment made by Joe Biden. He did not take questions, even though it did appear that there were journalists present who attempted to ask him a few. But this is an elaborate statement that has come in from the President Joe Biden. Also, it is in the backdrop of now, remember, how Donald Trump will want to escalate the election campaign. He immediately, even after being shot at as a bullet grazed through his ear, which was bleeding, as has been caught by cameras. What did incumbent U.S. President Joe Biden say on the assassination bid attempt on Donald Trump?
Last night, I spoke with Donald Trump. I'm sincerely grateful that he's doing well and recovering, and we had a short but good conversation. Jill and I are keeping him and his family in our prayers. We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victim who was killed. He was a father. He was protecting his family from the bullets that were being fired, and he lost his life. God love him. We're also praying for the full recovery of those who were injured, and we're grateful to the Secret Service agents and other law enforcement agencies and individuals who risked their lives literally for our nation. As I said last night, there is no place in America for this kind of violence, or any violence for that matter. An assassination attempt is contrary to everything we stand for as a nation, everything. It's not who we are as a nation. It's not America. And we cannot allow this to happen. Unity is the most elusive goal of all, but nothing is important than that right now, unity. We'll debate and we'll disagree. That's not going to change, but we're going to not lose sight of the fact who we are as Americans. Look, Vice President Harris and I were just briefed in the Situation Room by my Homeland Security team, including the Director of the FBI, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the Attorney General, the Director of the Secret Service, my Homeland Security Advisor, the National Security Advisor, and we're going to continue to be briefed. The FBI is leading this investigation, which is still in its early stages. We don't yet have any information about the motive of the shooter. We know who he is. I urge everyone, please, don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations. Let the FBI do their job and their partner agencies do their job. I'm instructed that this investigation be thorough and swift, and the investigators will have every resource they need to get this done. Look, as this investigation continues, here's what we're going to do. First, Mr. Trump, as a former president and nominee of the Republican Party, already receives a heightened level of security. And I've been consistent in my direction to the Secret Service to provide him with every resource, capability, and protective measure necessary to ensure his continued safety. Second, I've directed the head of the Secret Service to review all security measures for the Republican National Convention, which is scheduled to start tomorrow. And third, I've directed an independent review of the national security at yesterday's rally to assess exactly what happened, and we'll share the results of that independent review with the American people as well. And finally, I'll be speaking more about this tonight at greater length from the Oval Office. We must unite as one nation. We must unite as one nation.
You heard U.S. President Joe Biden. He has reiterated that no sort of violence is acceptable in America, in a democracy like the USA. And remember, the world is watching this. USA has had a background of assassinations of its heads of state, former or incumbent, and therefore this will be an absolutely important issue for the president of the country right now to address. So he's also added that we must stay united and one, irrespective of political differences. The fact is that a former U.S. president, who's now a Republican candidate, who's hopeful of a rerun, was almost assassinated. Remember, the fact is that the bullet did hit him, did graze past his ear. The ear was bleeding. He was pulled down by his Secret Service. And then after that, he has managed to stand back forth. A lot of questions left unanswered. Who was this man? Why did he come at that point? We'll be tracking all of this and big story in the morning as well. Stay tuned to India Today. U.S. President Joe Biden in this emergency immediate press conference.
Take a look what happened.